and I recently got to check out the American Jazz Museum with celebrity historian Raffi Andonian. So My KC Live starts now.
Live from TV285, Kerrigan Arnold and Shane Kanicki. This is My KC Live.
Kerrigan and I, well, no, Shane and Kerrigan got a chance to take a trip to the American Jazz Museum for a little walk down memory lane alongside celebrity historian Raffi Andonian. I hope I said his name right.
You're getting there. You're close.
I'm almost close.
Welcome back to My KC Live. Recently, Shane and I got to hang out with celebrity historian Raffi Andonian over at the American Jazz Museum because, get this, April is actually Jazz Appreciation Month.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay,
so
very cool.
Raffi walked us through some of the fun connections that jazz actually has to Kansas City, so take a look.
We're hanging out here at the American Jazz Museum, and we're hanging out with Raffi Andonian. He is our celebrity historian that comes on the show, and this is perfect, too, because there's so much history here, Raffi, including we're hanging out by the Charlie Parker mural right outside of the museum.
That's right. It's so perfect that the American Jazz Museum is right here in Kansas City, because Charlie Parker himself was from the KC area, which is really cool. An influential jazz musician who's one of the pioneers of the bebop style of jazz, a fast-paced kind of jazz.
Yeah.
He's one of the pioneers from right here in KC, so it's perfect that we're here in KC for the museum.
Well, speaking of bebopping, why don't we bebop inside and see what else they have to offer? Let's go. Well, we are now inside the American Jazz Museum, and we are here with Ella Fitzgerald, who is a huge key player. So, Raffi, what do we need to know?
Yeah, she's known as the Queen of Jazz, speaking of a key player. And what's really cool is Ella Fitzgerald was born in April. It's Jazz Appreciation Month. That's part of the reason that it's Jazz Appreciation Month in April, is her influence. What she was known for is she would use her voice like an instrument. The way that she would sing was really fascinating, a musical instrument. Now, what's really cool is that she was part of a scene known as the Harlem Renaissance in the 1920s in Harlem, New York. And part of that was also Duke Ellington, of course, a major big band jazz guy. Totally. And the reason that the Harlem Renaissance in the roaring 20s is known as that is because there's a lot of black culture coming up in Harlem at that point from all around the country, people hanging out there, including Zora Neale Hurst, the writer, and, of course, Langston Hughes, the poet, who is from Joplin, Missouri. So we have the Missouri tie to the Harlem Renaissance as well here during Jazz Appreciation Month. And Duke Ellington himself, the king of the Harlem Renaissance, was also born in April. So you have multiple jazz giants born in Jazz Appreciation Month.
Totally makes sense, for sure. And all the stuff that you can see here at the Jazz Museum, too, if you are an Ella Fitzgerald fan. They got her dress. They got an American Express card over there, too. It's really, really neat. But we got to keep moving on. There's tons of stuff to see.
Let's go.
Let's go. Now, Raffi, this next one, even if you know nothing about jazz, you know the name Louis Armstrong.
Oh, Louis Armstrong. Now, what's interesting is he recorded, along with his band, King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band, in April of 1923, one of the earliest, most influential songs in jazz. And what's really cool is that they actually traveled to Indiana for a big sound engineer to get the best sound. So just looking for the best sound at the time. But that wasn't the only time that Louis Armstrong actually traveled for jazz. They traveled with Louis and others during the Cold War abroad to the perimeter of the Soviet Union and other countries that they thought in the 1950s would be subject to potentially communist rule. And it was known as jazz diplomacy. This was the State Department sending people out to make jazz as a representation of American culture because it's so cool. And if you see cool American culture, then you're not going to be susceptible to falling prey to communism. And it actually worked. It went for decades. It goes on. Are you ready for this? To this day, the State Department still does it. If you go on the State Department website, they talk about jazz diplomacy. We still export it. American-made music, export abroad to show up American democracy.
How cool is that?
That's the value of jazz. And it starts with Louis Armstrong recording in April of 1923 in the Midwest. Different Mouth Blues is the song that they recorded.
Amazing. All right, well, we have to keep going.
Let's
There's so
do it.
much more to go. Let's go.
Okay, Raffi, as we close out, give us one more cool piece of jazz history we need to know.
Well, we're here where you can produce music, and one of the greatest examples of that is Herbie Hancock, also born in April, his birthday during Jazz Appreciation Month. He had a background as a classical musician and electrical engineer, and he combined them together to create a new jazz funk sound, and you can do that here too. In fact, Kerrigan, why don't you try to do one of these right here?
I got it. Let's go.
Kerrigan's going to play some music. I'm going to head up front and let him know what that bad noise is.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Oh, jeez, I can't.
Where's it? Well, that's on brand. All right, to learn more about all the fun that you can have at the American Jazz Museum, you can head to their website, americanjazzmuseum.org. And to follow along with Raffi, you can find him on social media at celebrity_historian.